on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Bud Light. It's for the fans. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome out to Rudy's Barbecue. We're on Harvey Road with Coach Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. Great to have you with us here tonight. It seems like it has been forever since we had a show, just the way the schedule shook out. And so we were moved our show from last week to this week. So we appreciate everybody that changed their schedules to make it out here tonight as the Aggies end up adding a home game tomorrow. A&M will host Purdue at 1 o'clock at Reed Arena. Admission is absolutely free. A little fan appreciation since we added the game so late. So get on out there tomorrow. The doors open at noon, and we'll talk more about that and how that came to be here in just a moment. But Joni, welcome and congratulations. Nice win for you guys yesterday over SMU. Played with just 7 players. How'd you do it?
Man, it was probably, Steve, our most complete game. You know, we'd been saying we needed to put 4 quarters together for quite a while, and I think we did that. How did we do it? I think they had a resolve and a toughness and a focus that we haven't had. I would like to say that that's because we are getting better, and I'm not saying we're not. We are definitely getting better. I think our limited number of players allowed the ones that are practicing to get tons of reps. I mean, there's no subs, so they're just getting rep after rep after rep. I also think they had a feeling of like our back is against the wall. It's just us. We've got to figure out a way to do this. And so it was fun to watch. It was fun to see them get after it. It was a great game to be a part of and coach. And so really proud of them, because when we showed up after Little Rock, obviously we got into finals and gave them some time off. But our first practice, we had 5.
Oh, my. 5.
And when we showed up that day and they looked around and saw 5, you could tell they were kind of like, are you going to cancel practice? No, we are not. We've got 5. That's enough. We got work to do. And so those 5 kind of, you could see them in their mind. You could see them thinking like, how is this going to go? What's this going to feel like? I don't know if I want to do this with just 5. And then as practice continued, they started buying into it. Then the next day we had 5, and the next day we had 5. So that entire week we only had 5, and then we added 2 more the next week to get us our 7. So I think they had a good feel for each other, and that showed up on Sunday.
You know, maybe as fans, we don't see all the things. We see the games. And so they walked out there with 7 players. Oh, man, big surprise today. Well, maybe for the fans, but it wasn't for you guys. Right. And so you had time to adapt. And so how did you guys adapt?
Obviously, practice had to get a lot shorter. You know, there as much as we need to do, and this is what's like the catch-22 is finals gives you a chance to reset. It gives you a chance to get back to basics and fundamentals and work on some things where there's some slippage, or just put in new offense, add something on defense. Well, when you only have 5, it's kind of hard to do that. So as much as we had a whole list, we were waiting for finals, we had a whole list of things we wanted to do, and then we got the injury report and we just tore it up. And so then it becomes, you know, we ask our players all the time to be flexible and to adapt and be fluid. And so that's what we had to do as coaches. We got those 5, and thankfully we have a great group of practice guys, and they were willing to come out there, and we just got reps. We broke everything down, and it was 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Then we finally built it to 5 the last couple of days, and it just really helped them with that. And then the mental aspect of it. You know, we watched a ton of film. We showed them a lot of things. We walked through a ton of stuff, and that was the way we did it.
Has there been a time in your coaching career where you had to have a similar situation?
Not as a head coach. As an assistant coach, we had 6 one year.
Oh, wow.
Yep, we had 6. We played with 6 the entire SEC season. My first year at Georgia, Meredith Mitchell, our DOBO, Director of Basketball Operations, she was a senior on that team. We played with 6. The difference was they were really good 6, and they were experienced. They were all seniors, and so they knew how to navigate it. You know, doing this with a younger team, they are growing into their shoes and learning how to do it, and have a much better approach, you know, about practice and having a limited number. So it's fun also to watch that process for them.
We'll talk more about this SMU game in just a moment, but you mentioned the injury report. What can you share about the injury report?
I think it's pretty public knowledge that Janiah Barker has a fractured wrist. We're taking that day to day. She's going to be in a mobilized brace for 4 weeks, and then we continue to check her sporadically to make sure it's healing properly. We're going to see if that heals properly. If it does, she's going to give it a go. If it's not healed properly, she's going to have surgery, and she will be out for the entire year. Sydney Roby has a torn lateral meniscus that is going to require surgery. She's getting that done at home back in Milwaukee over the Christmas break. And then that's typically a 4 to 6 week recovery, but it depends on what they find when they go in there and also how she rehabs. Just that process is different for everybody. So those are two. Mackenzie Green has just still got some nagging ailments from her ankle. She rolled her ankle really bad when we played Rice at home and finished that game, and then went on the road and played at Kansas and Little Rock, and just need to give her some more time to recover. Nothing is wrong. Structurally, she's fine. We've had several MRIs, x-rays, ultrasounds. We got it done again on Sunday just to make sure everything is okay. She's fine. We just need to get some of that swelling out. And so that's why she wasn't available. And then Tanea Hilton, just on the top of her foot, one of her ligaments are just, it's kind of, it's not torn, but it's out of place is the best way to put it. So it just kind of moves around and bounces around, and that causes a lot of pain on the top of your foot when you're cutting, playing defense.
Wow.
If that's the foot she's got to cut off of and take off of. So she's out for 2 weeks for sure, and then we'll reevaluate her. So the 2 weeks will get us through the Christmas break. So when she comes back from Christmas, hopefully she's feeling a little bit better. But that's just one of those things that, you don't want to continue to let her play on it, because it could develop into a stress fracture or something worse. And obviously, at her position, the way she defends and the way she plays is as explosive as she is. It just causes a lot of pain when she's having to push off of that left foot.
I mean, Joni, it's not like you have one or two. You've essentially got equivalent of a starting lineup at most schools sitting on that bench.
We have more players, almost equal amount of players injured as we have available. Yeah, and then obviously MJ, who has been out all year with a torn ACL. So,
how do you keep those ladies engaged?
A couple of ways. We like for them to do. They all are still rehabbing. Nothing's wrong with Jania's legs. So she runs, she's got to, I tell her, go open up your lungs, right? So she runs the sprints with us. She gets on the treadmill. Our strength and conditioning coach, Yolanda Berry-Hill, has done an amazing job of keeping them active in practice and engaged. They do a lot of core work, whatever they're able to do. They do if they can't use their legs and run. And then we give them assignments. I have one of them come stand next to me with a clipboard when we're drawing up plays. Somebody else stands in each corner to echo and yell certain things to keep them engaged and focused and locked in. So there's just different ways we do it. So,
I mean, you mentioned Yo, but what about Stacy, your athletic trainer? Because I don't know if she signed up for this.
Stacy she's always like, I'm so sorry, I'm coming to you. I'm like, don't be sorry. It's your job. It's fine. Stacy is, I think the week when Jania and Roby went down and then Mackenzie had her ankle, all three of those things happening at the same time was just a whirlwind. She's an excellent trainer. She's been great. When we were at Georgia together, she was actually the trainer for the track program who won a national championship before she came over to basketball. And this was an unfortunate accident, but actually a sprinter was warming up on the indoor part, and the javelin thrower didn't see him.
Oh.
You know where I'm going with this.
Oh.
Went right through his lungs. And Stacy was there, and I watched her handle that situation and immobilize the javelin, and it just – so she's very equipped to handle this. It has been obviously a lot for her, but, I trust her, and what's most important is that our student athletes trust her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have any sharp objects in basketball.
No.
Goodness gracious. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk more about the SMU game, and we've got a whole litany of things to talk to Joni about. We also will have Sahara Jones joining us here, and then she's going to be jetting off to the team's Christmas party. Yeah. So we'll talk about what's going on at the Christmas party and Christmas for the Taylors and everything else here. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Basketball and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood. Rudy smokes all their meats using their delicious signature rubs in 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com. We are back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. If you're out and about doing some shopping and looking for something to do, stop on by and grab something to eat, something to drink. We're talking women's basketball tonight. The Aggies are 5-4 overall, getting set to take on Purdue tomorrow at Reed Arena. 1 o'clock is the tip time. You can listen on the A&M Sports Network, locally Zone 1150, or watch on the SEC Network Plus. And then a week from this Thursday, the Aggies begin conference play, and they'll do that at number 1 South Carolina at 6 p.m. Again, you can listen on the A&M Sports Network or watch that game on the SEC Network. And we hope that you make plans for New Year's Day, because what a better time than New Year's Day to have a women's basketball game, and the Florida Gators will be in town. So 1 o'clock on New Year's Day, make those plans, pencil that in on your calendar right now. I'm Steve Miller with the coach, Joni Taylor, and we are joined by Sahara Jones. And Sahara, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tell me about what your Christmas plans are.
Christmas plans? To go home, see my family. I'll be in San Antonio for a little bit, and then I'll go to Dallas to see my whole family and have Christmas with them.
When's the last time you've been back to San Antonio?
Oh, wow. It's been a while. I feel like it's been like 2 months. I just haven't seen, I see my mom because she always comes to every game, but, I haven't seen my brothers and my niece and nephews in a little while, so it's been a long time.
How many people will be expected for the festivities?
A lot. There will be a lot of people because I have a lot of family.
What's Christmas like for you?
Christmas, so we start off by opening the presents, and we always eat enchiladas for some odd reason. I don't know why, but that's what we always eat. And then we'll open the presents.
And when is that? Is that on Christmas Day or Christmas not? Christmas Eve? Christmas? What is your schedule here?
Christmas Day. Okay, so since we live in San Antonio and my family lives in Dallas, I'll go to San Antonio for 2 days, and then either Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, me and my mom will drive to Dallas. And our family waits on us until we get there because it's a long drive. And then we get there, we'll open the presents, and I'll have on my PJs, and me and my mom are matching this year. So it's going to be great. And then after that, we'll get dressed because we always like to dress up, and we're wearing gray this year. So I bought a gray dress. Are y'all
matching in your gray too?
Yes,
wow.
We are. We are matching in our gray. And we'll take pictures, and our other family members will come over to my aunt's house, and we'll just all get together and talk and play games.
Where did the enchiladas start from?
My cousin, Christopher, and my grandma, her name is Maureen, she and him really love enchiladas, and they get enchiladas every Monday from this place called Norman's in Dallas, if y'all ever been there. So they just love enchiladas, and then we get them on Christmas Day because they think it's all about them.
What are you wanting for Christmas this year?
Oh, I want a new phone, which I'm definitely getting because I think I deserve one. So, and then I want a Pandora bracelet because I love jewelry. If you guys didn't know, I have all my jewelry on all the time. And what else did I ask for? I asked for some Beats headphones, which is very expensive, but my mom loves me enough to get them. And then Urban Outfitter car because I love Urban Outfitters. And then what else did I ask for? I asked for Skims. So,
wow. Sounds like you need to ask for a bag for all this stuff.
I know, right? I asked for a Coach bag too, actually. So I hope I get those things. It's 5 things, but those 5 things are very expensive, but crucial for me to get.
We're visiting with Sahara Jones, a junior on our basketball team. Sahara, what's wrong with your phone?
It's broken, really, really bad. I've never cracked a phone before, but this one, guys, it's really cracked up here. The camera is cracked at the top. The privacy screen is cracked. It's just really bad. And I need a new phone so I can, look presentable when I show people something on my phone.
Are you feeling pretty good? That's going to happen for you?
Oh, yes, it has to.
All right. Really? You think your mama's listening right now?
I hope so. Then she can know that I need a new phone, and I just love her so very much, and she should get it for me.
Describe to me the pajamas that will be matching. We got a color. Now we need some more description.
Okay, so mine are candy cane. I have candy cane shorts because I don't like to wear long pants because I get really sweaty and it's just too hot, and we're going to be sitting in the house. So I got me some black shorts, and they have candy canes on them. And then her pajamas are going to be probably long sleeve because she's a really tall lady, and she doesn't need to be wearing shorts anyway. And they're going to have candy canes on them, and they're going to be black.
I'm afraid I might know the answer, and I try not to ask a question I don't know the answer to. Do you like to receive gifts or give gifts? Joni's looking the same way as I am. We're backing up here.
I like to receive them.
Honesty's the best policy.
Of course. I think everybody loves to receive gifts. I mean, giving them is great and all, but just receiving what you want is such a beautiful thing.
Wow. Okay.
I got some work to do.
Small steps. All right. Well, all right. That's about what I thought. So, again, that's why I asked the question, just in case. All right. So let's shift to talk a little basketball. We've hammered out the Sahara Jones Christmas festivities here. What's different for you this season as compared to your last 2 seasons at A&M?
Different. My teammates, for sure. They make me feel really comfortable, and my coaches as well. It's just a different environment, and I really do love it. Last year, it was good. I just wasn't myself, and I wasn't as confident how I am this year. So that's basically the difference with me and the team as well, and this coaching staff.
You've started in every game this season for the Aggies, so what's that mindset for you? How do you prepare?
How I prepare? I don't know, really. I really try not to think too much. I just try to go out there and play basketball and play for my team, even if that's me not scoring the ball as much, just getting rebounds and being there for them and just cheering for them. So I really don't prepare. I just try to go out there and relieve stress.
So we've talked a lot about your teammates that are injured. There's a whole slew of them. How do you encourage them?
I encourage them a lot. I tell them to go to treatment with Stacy so they can get better, and just to always remember that they're a part of the team. It's never going to be a time that they won't be a part of the team. And I just want them to know that they're always going to be here, and when they come back, it's going to be 10 times better.
And we're looking forward to that day.
Yes.
One of the things people may not know is your involvement with Blueprint at A&M. So tell us what Blueprint is first, and then tell us what your involvement is.
So Blueprint is for Black leaders who undertake excellence, and it's just a whole group of Black students. It's 6 of us. It's me and Malia Johnson from the women's basketball team, and then we have Chase Lane, who is on football, and then Brian Joseph, who is on football as well, and then we have Ish, who is on track, and who started this? Carlina Sample founded it, which is on soccer. And so she just wanted to do it because she felt that we need a safe environment at our school, knowing that we go to a PWI and we always don't have the resources. So she just wanted to do that to make us feel comfortable in an environment. In Blueprint, my position is chief marketing. So I do everything that's on social media, and I post when we have events and all that good stuff. What
type of support do you get from your other teammates and your fellow athletes?
A lot. They always end up coming to an event that we have, which I feel that's great to see that they're there. And I can't be the only person. I can't be the only member on campus, and my teammates don't come. So they make it a lot easier for me to come.
What's the impact that Athletic Director Ross Bjork and his staff have had on your organization?
Definitely a lot. Rock has, Jesus, I can't get his name.
Ross.
Ross has came to a lot of our events, and it's just been so helpful for him to acknowledge us and see us the way that we are, and we love that support so much.
Are there other schools out there that are trying to emulate what you guys are doing?
Yes, there is. So it's a thing every year. It's called BSAs. And it's for the people who have a Blueprint on their campus as well. There's a lot of schools such as USC, UTSA just founded one. Michigan also just founded one as well. But all those schools just get together at this one event, and it's somewhere different every year. So last year it was in Houston, and this time around it'll be in California.
How do you think more schools will be able to get involved?
Just by them reaching out to us. A lot of schools actually reach out to us and ask us how do we found our foundation and stuff, and just ask us how do we get into the groove of things. And we always, of course, give them advice and email them back and let them know this is who we went through and this is what we did in order to get there.
Were you guys the first?
No, we weren't. So Carlina had went to a BSA event, and that's how she got to start Blueprint here, because that's what she wanted here. So they got to do all the work for that and create one here.
And tell us what the acronym BSA stands for. Do you happen to know?
Honestly, I really
Is it for athletes or just for any black students?
No, I believe it's for athletes because all athletes are there from all different schools.
All right. Well, so now I'll switch gears into your academics. Tell us where you're at academically and what your major is.
My major is communications, and I'm minoring in sports management, and I'll be graduating in the summertime with my bachelor's degree in communications, and then I'll go on to my master's degree in sports management. Right now, I just finished the semester with 3 A's and 2 B's, with a GPA of a 3.6.
Excellent. Outstanding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So when you finish up all of this stuff you're doing at Texas A&M, what do you want to do?
My dream is always to go to WA, but if that doesn't happen, of course, then communications, it will always be my fallback because I want to talk in front of people or be on ESPN, and I'll get to see you guys again.
Excellent. All right. Well, Sahara, thank you for joining us tonight. I know you got to get to the Christmas party. Are you expecting to get any gifts there?
I would hope so. It's Secret Santa, so I hope whoever has me gives me a
coach person.
Thing. Yes. That's what I sent in the group chat, just in case any of my teammates just wanted to go out the box for me and spend over the $40 limit and give me a coach purse.
I mean, one would expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what true teammates would do. You are an upperclassman, after all, right?
Right. Yes, I am a junior. So I feel like it's their time to step up for me, how I did in the past years. So, yes.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all, too.
Thanks for joining us. Sahara Jones, everybody. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Not everyone is a morning person yet, but with Costa Vita's new breakfast tacos, everyone will be. Try our bacon, egg, and cheese or specialties like the machaca beef and egg or sweet pork, egg, and cheese. Stop by our drive-thru any day from 7 to 10:30 a.m. Order online through the Costa Vita app or the website. Become a morning person at Costa Vita. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Coach Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. Great to have you with us. Great crowd out here tonight. We got 4 nights, I guess, until Christmas. 5 nights. We're getting close to that. We have checked in, and Sahara did not have diamonds on her Christmas list. We were just double checking if anyone wanted to. I'm sure she will accept that as we keep expanding Sahara Jones's Christmas list. All right. Well, one of the early gifts was the win over SMU, Joni, and it had been 21 days since you guys had played in Reed Arena, had a 12-day break. What did you guys do during the break? You kind of alluded to, doing some of the individual stuff, but how did you build up to the SMU game with all the time off?
Well, you think about it. We obviously played, Kansas and Little Rock, but we missed an opportunity to play at home when Morgan State, canceled on December the 4th. So, again, we came back from Little Rock, which was a nightmare in itself, that road trip, right? That was a whole nother conversation. But we came back and we gave them 2 days off, and then we just had a little bit of individuals, a little bit of practice. Again, we were 5, and so we split guards forward for half our practice, and then we'd come together, and then we'd split back up and do guards forwards. And so it's a combination of, working on the part to then put the whole together. And then we have to challenge them a little bit, too. Like in that, yes, we still only have 5, but we don't have a game this week. So, I like to say we need to open our lungs up a little bit. So there was some running involved in that as well. But I think it was a great opportunity for them to – we always tell them you can do hard things. You can do hard things. And, I think they learned that over the last 2 weeks. Like, this is hard. This is not going to be easy. But we can do it. And so to have that come together on Sunday the way that it did, and for them to play the way they did and see the reward from it, I was really happy for them.
Now, the 7 players who were healthy enough to play 5 of them go with 10 or more points. That's remarkable.
Well, we did a really good job of sharing the basketball, and what we told them on Monday was, fortunately, we've worked on this for Little Rock. Is heavy help. It's going to be penetrate, kick, and we weren't as good at Little Rock at doing that. We were better on Sunday. We're going to have to do it again tomorrow because Purdue is going to be the same way. They're going to force us to kick it. So for us to share the ball that way, it reinforces what I always tell them. Not one person on our roster is going to carry us. That is not who we are. That is not the team we have. I would love for our stat sheet to say 12, 10, 10, 9, 8. We're not going to have somebody who takes 25 shots a game. That's just not how we're built. And so better together is something that we always talk about. And the way they shared the basketball and found each other on Sunday was just really fun.
one of the things about coming together. Talk about the defensive end. Aaliyah Patty used her height and her skills to advantage. She got 5 blocked shots after the final tally. I think maybe 2 on one play. Why is the way she was playing defense so important for you guys?
Well, we've been challenging her, number one, to stay out of foul trouble. And, you know, she wants to block shots. She can block shots. She's a great rim protector. But early on, you know, she's swatting at everything. She's swinging down. I'm like, even if you don't foul them, they're going to call that. Like, make them come to you. So what I was most happy about was that, for the most part, this is what you saw. You know, she was here and made them come to her, and then at the height of it, she would go get it. And so, you know, hopefully it's, again, like seeing the maturation of, like, them putting the things together that we've been talking to them about, because she was able to stay in the game. She wasn't in foul trouble. It didn't lead to her being frustrated. You know, she didn't get frustrated with the refs, and she got the result that she wanted, which was being our rim protector and blocking some shots. And
so when you flip it on offense, you had KK Green get her first start and did so as your point guard. What did she do for you?
She ran our team. You know, SMU kept giving us different looks. They were man, they were zone, you know, and so, again, one of the things we worked on in this time was, we're going to stick with these sets, and that's all we did for the days we were off, those 12 days. We ran that and nothing else. Again, I told you we didn't get a chance to put in some stuff we wanted to. So she was really comfortable. Her teammates were really comfortable. They helped her out when she needed some help in that regard. But she ran our team. She got us where we needed to be. And then she was much better Sunday on knowing when to score for herself and get the ball to other people.
And she was able to get a breather here and there with Maya Petticord coming off the bench and getting double-digit scoring. She hadn't had a lot of minutes to this point, so a lot was expected. Did she answer the call for you?
She definitely did. Maya is somebody who's going to be fun to watch for a long time. Her nickname is Money, right, for a reason. She can just score. She's electric with the ball in her hands. For her, it was figuring out what it is we're doing. I'm still not sure she knows. She's as caught up as everyone else. The other thing is Maya had a growing pull early in the season, and so that's why she didn't play in those first games at home. So I think she logged more minutes Sunday than she had in all of the games combined. And so it was good for her to grow her sea legs a little bit. You know, she's somebody who, again, we're going to be relying on, and as she continues to learn what it is we're doing and think the game and just play freely, you're going to see a lot from her.
And Jada Malone joined her by coming off the bench, and Jada provided some pretty valuable minutes. How did she do it?
We've been talking to Jada about no move needed. You know, like Little Rock, SMU, tomorrow against Purdue, they're not going to let us catch it in the paint and dribble, search. That's not – they are dig it out, force the kick. And so how to create no move needed, meaning you don't need a dribble. And when you look at how Jada got really deep post touches, it was catch, score, catch, score. Patty did a great job of finding her. Our guards did a good job of finding her. But Jada really, you know, I kept saying, you could be so huge for us. Use your strength, use that body and get in there and post up. And so she was really good at getting no move needed baskets for us, which means she's catching it deep in the paint. She doesn't have to put it on the floor. She can just catch it, turn, and score.
And she waited till as late as possible to get that 5th foul.
Yes. 2 illegal screens. One of the things I told them we had to do is we've got to create extra possessions, and the first way to do that is not to turn it over. So one of the things we challenged them was we don't need turnovers from charges, 3 seconds in the lane, or illegal screens. Take those type of turnovers off the table. We didn't do that completely, but we were much better in some of those areas.
Speaking of completely, Sydney Bowles is a fun player to watch. When do you think she's going to get those 2 halves put together for that perfect game for her?
Yeah, I think that hopefully it's coming. You know, she's someone who really, really does a good job of watching film, learning how to come off screens, read screens. She's one of our hardest practice players in terms of her effort and how she does things. And so I think for her it's going to continue to come together.
So we've got Purdue coming to town, 1 o'clock tomorrow. And, how did that game come to light? Because
we're supposed to be in Vegas.
Right now, we're supposed to be playing a game right now.
Yeah.
And it's not here. It should have been in Vegas. So tell everybody what happened. Everybody's probably read a press release or two, but kind of give us the Reader's Digest version here of why we're not in Vegas tonight.
So there was a tournament in Vegas over Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but there was a tournament in Vegas over Thanksgiving that was run by some of the same tournament directors that we were going to be playing in when we went right now. And that just ended up not being the standard that should be expected for women's basketball, let alone Texas A&M, from a safety standpoint and from just a standard of experience. And so after we saw how that played out, I mean, number one, they were playing in a hotel ballroom. There was not any chairs for the fans to sit in. At one of the locations, there wasn't a medical staff there, so a young lady from Auburn got hurt and took 45 minutes for a doctor to come. She laid on the floor for 45 minutes on the court. So there was just some concerning things that we just were like, we've got to really take a deep dive into this. And as we were reading about it, literally, and thinking about it, we were actually where were we when that happened? Maybe Duke, I don't remember. But as that's kind of happening over Thanksgiving, I get a phone call from the coach at Dayton, which is the team we're supposed to be playing right now. And she said, "Are you watching this?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "We're not going." And I said, "Okay." And so then I got on the phone, because that's one team down, and then I called the coach at Purdue, and we had a conversation, and we were both just kind of tracking it because Indiana was another team that was there. They had a player get hurt. And so we just, after we really just tried to dig into getting some information, the tournament that we were going to was supposed to be played at one place, and it got moved somewhere else, the hotel that they had secured for us. Then we find out like 2 weeks ago that they were going to move us somewhere else. So it just, we weren't comfortable. And so we decided not to go to that tournament. There's a safety element. Anytime we decide to go to a tournament, wherever it is, there's a standard of safety, and there's a standard of experience that our young ladies should expect when we are going to an MTE, which is a multi-level tournament. And so we decided that wasn't up to the standard that we wanted, and graciously Purdue, we knew we wanted to play Purdue. It's going to help us. We need to play them. They're really good. They took Maryland almost to overtime a couple weeks ago when they played them. Maryland had to take a last-second shot to win that game. And so we need to play against Purdue. It's a great game to play going into conference play to expose us and to show us what we still need to continue to work on and where we've gotten better in some areas. I think Purdue feels the same way. And we were both willing to come here or go there, and it worked out that we could get them to come here.
And so do you think that develops into a home-and-home for you, or is this, you think it's a one-off here tomorrow?
I don't know. I think we're both open. I think we're both open into figuring that out. I think the immediate thing, Steve, was how do we play this game and not play it in Vegas? Right. Especially for us, we lost Dayton and we lost Morgan State, so that only gives us 10 non-conference games. We were already one short. We'd love to play 13. We were already only playing 12, and then you lose 2. So we had to figure out, how to play this game. I think after we do that, if we get on the phone this spring and figure out, maybe not next year because our schedule for next year is almost complete, but the following year, we'll go up there. We've got Soleil Williams, who's from Cincinnati. We'd love to get her back to Ohio in some capacity, so I'm open to that.
And how do you develop your schedule? You may have had your hands tied this season with when you arrived in Aggie Land versus what may have been in place or not in place. So how do you develop your schedule?
Catherine Graham does our scheduling. She does an amazing job. She's done it for years. It's a mix of a lot of things. Number one is who are we as a team? Our experience level. That determines what it looks like, first of all. Second of all, we want to make sure that we are playing teams that are going to prepare us not only for the conference play, but for the NCAA tournament. What does that mean? Most times in the NCAA tournament, you are playing a team that is not the same style as you, like Princeton offense or motion, something that you don't see in the SEC. The SEC is very gritty, quick hitter, physical, defensive driven, and most of the teams that you draw are not that the first game in the tournament. So we always want to build our non-conference schedule where one or two teams are going to be a totally different offensive look than what we're used to. So we have guarded it. We watched film on it. So if we see a team like that again in March and April, we're at least a little bit familiar with it. So that's one thing that we always try to do. And then we always want to play in a tournament because it prepares us for the SEC tournament when you have to go back to back to back, and for the NCAA tournament where maybe there's just a one-day turnaround. So those are the elements that are hopefully going to always be in our schedule. The level of who we play depends on our experience and where we are. So we're the second youngest team in the league. Obviously, we're going to be a little bit better next year as we continue to get better and bring players in. So hopefully as that happens, we'll continue to build our schedule and play against better teams and top-notch programs.
In men's basketball, over the last several years, in the whole world of men's basketball, it's hard for teams to get home games against anybody that matters. Where is women's basketball in that area about getting somebody who will come and play you at home that is a legit team, if you will? Not speaking down to other teams, but as you build a schedule.
There's you just have to know who to call, right? Some coaches want to play the game that's going to make their team better, and if that means I lose on the road or I win at home or lose at home, if that makes me better, if this loss in November gets me a win in March because I learned from it, then let's do it. And then there's coaches who, I want a 12-0 record going into conference play, or I want to be 10-2, and they don't want to play those games. And so, as you have been in the business, you kind of know which coaches are willing to play you and which ones aren't. Unfortunately, there's not as many that want to play as the ones that don't. But I think we found a good mix of creating, a home and home against some teams that are willing to play and see what happens. So it's that, and then you also want to get your players that are not from Texas. If you're not going to go to a city close to them in SEC play, you want to make sure you're getting them back home at some point.
Yep, and I think we'll talk probably more about the schedule as the year goes on and see how that comes together. This gets into the part where we don't control the schedule,
right.
But strength of schedule is an important factor when you look at the postseason as well, right? I mean, that's a big deal. So we'll obviously talk more about that. Coming up, we'll talk about what the Taylors have going on for Christmas. We'll do that. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, hotel accommodations, autographed memorabilia, and more. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. Great to have you with us. A&M is going to be playing Purdue. It's not on your schedule, but it is now and needs to be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's absolutely free to come out on this late edition game we've got going on, so hope people make it out to Reed Arena at 1 o'clock for Purdue. And Joni, they've already played 2 conference games.
Yes.
How many conference games do they play in the Big Ten?
I don't know how many, but they start before. Every conference now starts before Christmas except for the SEC.
Right.
The ACC starts their games before Christmas too. They have moved. We're 16.
Right.
So they may be 18.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
The only way to get some of those games squeezed in with the way the tournament selection goes. What about yesterday? We're going to get to the Taylor Christmas here in a few minutes. We're just making people wait
a little bit.
Wait for those details. What about the bike builds you had this weekend? That was if you didn't see the pictures or the video, pretty amazing what you guys put together.
We were able to raise money to get 53 bikes and helmets and donate them to kids in the Brazos Valley. So Saturday we built bikes for some of you and had a great time doing it. It was the first time our players had ever. So when we first told them about the bike build, they thought we were just going to get bikes and take them to people. I was like, no, we're going to build them we're going to get them out of the box. Not, you want us to build a bike? I was like, yeah, it's easy. You'll be fine. So it was really fun watching them do that with our Fast Break Club. And, I tell them all the time, we can all think about the first time we got our first bike, what that felt like, riding it down the hill, learning how to ride, not without holding on to the handlebars, whatever that experience was. And, if we can provide that need for a family and take that stress off of parents or grandparents or whoever guardians are to give a bike to a child, why not? And so really proud of our young ladies for doing that. And, we asked our athletic department this year to step in and help us raise money. Academy Sports was a great partner with us in this endeavor. They actually donated $5,000 to help us go towards buying some of the bikes.
That's a lot of bikes.
It's a lot of bikes. And so, just really, really glad. It's one of the things that I was told when we first came here is how gracious the 12th man is. And so I just continue to see every single day how willing our community is to help.
What's the secret to building a bike successfully?
Don't put the handlebars on backwards.
Did we see some of that this weekend?
No, but I have done that before.
Yeah.
The very first time that I built a bike, I put the handlebars on backwards. It's kind of tricky. It looks the same. And then it's not as difficult as it looks. I think the other thing is just making sure everything's really, really tight, making sure it's screwed in tight. So we actually have somebody from Academy who's there on call, and he approves all of the bikes before we pass them out to make sure that they are safety standards that have to be met to make sure that we built them the right way.
What's the secret to getting that back tire and chain all working? That seems very intimidating to me.
Yeah, but the chain's already there, so we don't have to do the chain.
Okay.
Yep, it's already there. So you just have to put on the pedal.
Okay.
You have to put the seat on.
Okay.
The handlebars. The tires, they're already there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then some of them come with obviously training wheels and some don't. So it's not as daunting as it sounds.
Did you let any of your remaining healthy players test them out around the gym, or no?
The first thing I said to them before practice, I said, do not ask to ride the bikes. And then, so they were great. They were really good. But then when we were done, we took a picture, and then we had to take the bikes and move them into the loading dock area. And so, of course, they were like, can we please ride them there? And I was like, sure, fine. So they did get to ride bikes for a short second.
All right.
The little things.
That's all they wanted to do. You're around them, and they just felt that need to do that, right? Oh, goodness. All right. We are live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Texas A&M University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and Texas A&M University. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show at Rudy's Barbecue. Our remaining moments, I'm Steve Miller with Coach Joni Taylor. We do have a couple of scores. It's odd that we have scores that are either in progress or finished, so we'll at least relay them. Auburn was a winner over North Florida, 77-49. West Virginia beat Georgia at the West Palm Beach Invitational, 49-45. Alabama a winner over Southeastern Louisiana, 55-45, and Oregon beat Arkansas out in San Diego at that tournament, 85-78. So there is some of those folks playing in those tournaments, which A&M was going to, but we have talked about that. That's why we have Purdue tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But tell us about what Christmas is like for the Taylors.
We will be here.
Okay.
Most people come to us, so my parents will be in town. My brother is actually on his way here now. He flew into Houston. He lives in Philly. And so we'll just hang out. We'll cook a lot. Darius cooks. I come in at the last minute and cook a little bit. I have potato salad and banana pudding. Those are the two things that I'm responsible for. And so I let everybody else kind of get out of the way, and then I cook late Christmas Eve after everybody's kind of gone to bed. Because, number one, if I didn't, they would get in the banana pudding before Christmas. And I cannot stand when somebody, eats the cake or cuts it or takes a piece, but it needs to look whole when you present it on Christmas Day.
Okay, well, if you're a banana pudding, can't you just take a little bit and smooth it back out? Nobody would know, right?
The meringue. You would mess we put meringue.
Oh.
This is homemade banana pudding.
Is it no Cool Whip thing?
No.
Okay.
No. So, so the meringue would be messed up.
What's Darius cook?
All the meats. He does the meat.
What's his best meat?
He's really good with ham, turkey, brisket.
What's he think is the best meat?
Brisket. Steak. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
that business just picked up.
Steak. He's really good at steak. We don't have steak for Christmas, but steak is for sure. He's very good at
Too many
steak.
people over there at the house for steak.
It's a lot of people.
Carve up some brisket. So what about Christmas morning?
Well, obviously, whenever JC and Drew wake up, we get going, and we have on our Christmas pajamas. And my mom, they call her Granny. She normally makes them hot cocoa, and they get to drink some hot cocoa. And my brother makes some little appetizers, some kind of meatball-looking something that he cooks for them. And they open up presents, and then they want to play with toys, and then we'll kind of get dressed after that, and then people come over. So even though it's our family, we have people who will come over and eat with us. And Ashley McCord, our director of player development and athletics culture, she had her baby this morning, 4:45 a.m. Baby Cruz came, and so we actually invited her family to come over for Christmas. Nice. So we've got some other people who are in town that might come over and celebrate with us as well. First
Christmas in Aggieland.
Yes, and exciting.
Most folks may not know, just have a few moments left, but a few weeks ago, Darius got a different job. How does that work out for you guys?
Really well. We have to bring him on and let him come talk about it. He is the general manager of the Connecticut Sun. What was really wonderful about that opportunity was, number one, he is incredible, and he's really worked his way up in the WNBA. But Jen Rosati, who's president of the Connecticut Sun, is a former collegiate coach and knows us well. And so when she called him about the opportunity, she presented it, to him as, this is a chance for you to do this, but also work remotely. We know that you guys are based in Texas. And so, yes, will he be in Connecticut this summer? Of course, we all will when we have a chance. But, it's a job that he can do remotely. And so it's been really good for us.
We've got another team we got to follow now.
Yeah.
We'll be getting
that orange. I got to get used to wearing orange, though.
They got to play at the casino, I think. It's a nice deal over there, I believe. So, we visit with Darius when he has time throughout the season. We'll get an update over there and find out what life is like in the WNBA. All right. Well, any final Christmas wishes for everyone?
Be safe, be happy, and enjoy your family. You know, we lost a lot of people in 2022, so just enjoy your family, hug them tight, and enjoy Christmas, and come back and see us. Come back on January 1st, bring in the new year with us after tomorrow, obviously.
Excellent. 1 o'clock tomorrow, the Aggies and Purdue. Hope to see everybody out there. All right, Joni, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Aggies.
All right, our thanks to Joni Taylor and Sahara Jones, engineers Kevin Minchow and Daniel Anderson back in Jefferson City. For Coach Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. Have a great night. This has been the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.